How you doing? I had like an hour and a half of sleep last night, but I think I look all right for that. Actually, no. Now that I look at myself in the screen, I look like shit. Good morning, everybody. We're not going to let that get us down, are we? And joining me today, Simpiwe Mtetwa.
Hello, hello, hello.
That's right. You can find her on the socials. She's also a big TikTok star in her own right.
Thank you.
And we have Ben Karpinski, otherwise known as The Bounce. And you can follow The Bounce, another show on this magnificent channel, and you will find his socials as well. They're both celebrities, these two.
7 hours of sleep too, so I feel good.
Only 7, huh, Ben?
Only 7.
Sure.
Well, I'm going away today, so a bit frenetic. Woke up a bit early to try and make sure I
Where
got
are you
everything. I'm trekking deep into the Kruger. I'm staying at Mapani camp, and then I'm going to do the big sort of loop around there.
And he's going to a place I don't know that's ever been on my agenda called Palaborwa.
Palapora is great. So they've got a golf course there. That's one of the main reasons. So I'm doing 3 nights in the Kruger, and then going into Palabora Gate, and then coming out to Palabora Gate so I can go play the golf course.
That's Palaborwa, everybody, not Palapala.
Very different. Less money, but
less money.
Equally charming, if not more so. So I'm going to go play that golf course, and then I'll literally will be back in time for the show next week.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. And
going studio to studio here.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing. It's wild. So let's get stuck into the last day of February, and the weekend is upon you, and there's lots of, some people basically bounced into the studio. She's like, no, end of the month. Very good. And February can kiss my ass.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just, you know what? It's always the shortest month. Even if it's a leap year, it's still only 29. It fucks with all the things. Because everything else is 30 or 31. Then February has to be, 28 or 29.
What Greek can we blame for that?
I don't know. There must be a Greek or a Roman or something.
You're going to blame one of those for them. Have to.
Guys, it's my dad. Like, stop complaining.
Okay. All right. You're right. Okay,
I'm just trying to pick a fight with the Greek. I've been fighting with Greeks all week.
All right. So let's go. We'll start off with this because I think this is probably one of the more irritating things I'm not a big fan of air travel.
Okay.
Because even if you get the window seat or the aisle seat, the one you were hoping for, and I'm talking about traveling economy class, which is what most of us do most of the time. If you've been lucky enough to go and, and upgrade every now and then, or you actually bought a business class ticket, or maybe you have so much money that you do fly first class, that's a different experience. That's like, checking into a resort hotel and go and chill in the pool and have a pina colada. But in economy class, it's just a bus in the sky.
Correct.
It's a Santaco taxi in the sky. That's what it is. Doesn't matter how much.
Up the robot.
Yeah, exactly. And no matter how much they dress it up, it's just 3333 every row. And your luck may come from heaven, and you may, have fortune on your side, and you end up with no one in the seat next to you. You feel like a king, but actually you're just in the fucking taxi in the sky.
Everything's processed. Even the air hostesses, when they talk to you, they've got 4 seconds because the other person over there wants chicken. And so it's rushed.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them, but at the same time, too much makeup.
Okay.
They have to wear the makeup.
Really? They have to cake it on like that? Is it part of the regulations?
Jeepers, you try to go through those different time zones,
Come
lack
on
of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's give them a break. Anyway, I'm not here to attack air hostesses. What I am going to tell you now is a true horror story, because just when you think they can't make economy class travel on a plane even worse, because you're squeezed in next to other people, you've got no leg room, that air is dry, and they keep recirculating. And on a long flight, it's just horrific. You can never sleep. There's no comfortable position. It's just terrible. But then I can make it worse for you. A couple on a Qatar Airways flight from Melbourne to Doha were forced to sit next to a dead passenger for 4 hours after she collapsed and could not be revived. Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collin said that the flight attendants placed the woman in a spare seat next to them, but did not offer to move them elsewhere. They described the experience as distressing and claimed that they received no support upon landing. What? It's just a dead body. Anyway,
Bless you.
See, I talk about like sitting next to a dead person and look at what happens. So Qatar Airways expressed condolences to the passenger's family and apologized for any inconvenience caused. Apologized. You give those people 100,000 miles on whatever your rewards program is, and you hope that's enough. And if they say it's not enough, you give them another 100,000.
Yeah. See, look, we're in a world where people just bitch about everything, right? So there's a couple of questions I got to ask.
Yeah.
Were there any other seats that they could have put this body into? Let's just say the flight was full.
Ben,
and I had to go there.
It's dead person. Prop them up into one of the bathrooms.
But in the bathrooms, then
close the door.
You know how busy those bathrooms are, Gareth. You need a bathroom.
You can't do the bathroom.
Well, you can't put her in a kitchen either. Oh,
No.
nice earrings, by the way.
Thank you.
So I mean, it's a dead body, okay? So let's just feel that it's gone through the part where the piss and all that kind of stuff goes out. Is it a smelly body?
I don't know. She died on the flight, so I think 4 hours. You don't really start to like stink it up.
Okay, so that's fine.
Fine.
Guys,
what would you do? You wouldn't.
I'm trying
would
to
you
play,
Would you take that?
I'm trying to play.
No.
I'm trying to play my pillow's advocate here.
No. But still, like, okay, I'm black. So I don't want a dead body near me, next to me, sitting by my side for 4 hours, 10 hours. Hey, that's just bad luck.
You know how many funny, jokes
I am white, and I say I agree.
Okay. I'm also white, or whatever. But I mean, you know how many jokes you would have
with a dead person.
Exactly.
No.
But it's always annoying if someone talks to you on a plane, right?
Oh,
so
that is funny.
Take it off the table.
Okay, but I'd expect the airline to do more. These people didn't sign up for that.
Yeah,
trauma.
I know, but again, articles are always terribly written. If the flight was full and there's nowhere else to put the body, it's your unlucky day. Okay, I'm sorry, but also it's a dead body. It's not going to touch you.
Are you auditioning for a job working at the airlines? Because that's the kind of crass.
It's a dead body, okay? It's not going to make any rude comments to you. It's not going to fart, hopefully.
No, but still, you know, what's that thing called? Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis, where they get all stiff.
Yes, so...
I have to bury them in a coffin that goes like this.
But like now imagine they're sitting there and then like they just...
Oh my God.
And then you can't move them back.
Well, obviously...
And now they're right next to you like this.
Okay.
They time.
Gotcha.
And they do fart sometimes, by the way.
You know?
They do fart. They expel gases.
But then you tuck them in with all the blankets. And then it's a cool story for the rest of your life. These people are fucking boring, I bet. So this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to these people. They have nothing to say in public anyway.
Who are you? Are you talking about Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collins?
Those people don't get invited anyway. They're boring people. They're probably going to go see kids in Australia that don't even like them.
And they're okay with their boring life. They didn't need to be traumatized.
Trust me, they are going to dine out in the story for the next however long until they drop dead in the plane. They've just been given,
but I do think
an Uno +4 card socially.
Let me tell you, like you can end up with an extremely fat person next to you. I think you deserve compensation. If you end up with a dead person next to you, you deserve compensation.
Yes, I agree. But when you end up with the fat person next to you, no one writes an article about how traumatic it was and that kind of stuff. It's way more traumatic than having a dead person next to you.
All right, I didn't think we'd disagree on this. It's a hell of a way to start your Friday, hey?
Yeah, people
look at Ben doing Mapello's advocate. I hope Mapello's happy, but your words really have rung true with Simpiwe and Ben and I. I have to tell you, Mapello.
People must stop moaning. It was only 4 hours anyway.
There is a Chinese company that has set a deadline for single workers to get married. This is very funny, okay? This Shuntian it's a chemical group, okay? They withdrew a controversial policy that threatened to fire unmarried employees, aged from 28 to 58. It's a big age range, gives you a lot of time, if they didn't marry by September. That doesn't give you much time. The notice, which accused single workers of disloyalty and failing to support China's push to up birth rates, because they've got a problem again.
Yeah.
They obviously have all the boys and no girls, which is a result of their last time they tried policies like this. Now they're going to try this one. There's going to be another unforeseen consequence of this bad policy.
Just go to North Korea and steal some women there.
That's what Kim Jong-un does from the South Koreans. And also I don't think that their population dynamics are really something you want to copy either. Anyway, they faced backlash, this company,
of course,
which people are very upset. Was deemed illegal by the local authorities Following official intervention, the company retracted the policy, stating that some of the wording had been inappropriate. You can't get away with that, some of the wording. We know what you wanted. We know what you meant.
You want the workers to be married.
Yeah,
does that come with a bonus? Does that come with I mean, if you want people to get married, what's the incentive? Like you can't tell me, Simpiwe, you need to be married.
I mean, Simpiwe, it's a chemical company, all right? So work isn't, let's just say it's not the most stimulating work in the world.
Sure.
So the length of life can't be the longest.
Yeah, exactly. In a Chinese chemical factory. I mean, you've probably got
I'm sure they adhere to all the
so
safety
is there
protocols.
A nice pension
your
fund
longevity's
waiting for
capped
me
at
as the wife?
pension. Well, you only get to 32 years old. Anyway, they want everyone to be unhappy at work and at home. So they want them to be married. Okay. Go for it, guys. I mean, there are people who really think that they can tell other people what to do. Those are not my people. Just do whatever. I really, I could always say to you, I think it's good for people to produce kids. Like Elon does this, right? He says, we have populations shrinking. You know what? There are some people on this planet who are having too many children.
Yes.
And there's some people on this planet who are having too few children. But it's none of my business because having children is hard work. And I'm not prepared to do that work, especially when I haven't found someone to have the children with who isn't hard work herself.
Yeah, but I think what you just said there should get reminded to these people. It is hard work. People just think, some people think it's easy.
No,
I've so many.
Marriage is a full-time business, and it's a slog. And I'm saying the good marriages can be a slog. The bad ones are all kinds of hell. Yeah. Because you have to put in. Listen, in the limited experience I have of happy relationships, which I have had, and by that I don't mean that I've had lots of unhappy ones. You have to, if you want it to work, think about the other person more than you think of yourself. You don't go into a relationship going, what do I get out? You want, unless you're a horrible person, you want to make the other person happy.
Yeah. What can you put in?
So it's hard work. It's not like, what do I get out? It's what do I put in? And I don't mean just putting it in.
You do. I saw the glint in your eye.
I brought Ben a present this morning, which I think he should wear.
Yay!
Well, we spoke about China and the chemical company. The factory next door make these. This is, of course, the much anticipated sauna hat. Apologies
okay, now explain the genesis of this. So Ben is a big sauna fan.
Okay, so yes, I sauna regularly. It is probably the best post-workout recovery you could possibly do. Heat is very good for you.
He's illiterate. That's so South African.
Guys, do you want to
taxi window opens, McDonald's packet comes out.
Do you want to keep crinkling?
You could put it on the table.
Yeah, go on.
So the thing about a sauna hat is that if you can keep your head cool, then you can keep the rest of your body in the sauna to get maximum heat. No point going to the sauna for 30 seconds and going, this is hot. Try staying there for quite long. And now I'm gonna be the coolest guy in the gym because I'm just gonna rock up like this.
And it has a little handle on the top, which is great.
So
Okay.
This is me now,
So that's
guys.
Ben's sauna hat. So now when you have those long conversations with older gentlemen in the sauna, you can at least...
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, right?
So basically... What the fuck you guys are laughing? I look amazing.
Because I bought you one too. See, I'm gonna go and get it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh no! I'm not wearing that.
I'm just so amazed that my ginormous head actually has a sauna hat that can fit it.
Oh my god!
I don't wear hats are hard for me.
It looks ridiculous though. It looks absolutely.
Look, I thought it would look ridiculous. I think it actually looks fucking awesome.
No, I don't agree.
Guys, I'm wearing.
I'm not wearing
No,
that.
Sophia, you put that on.
It's your present. Come on.
Don't look at gift sauna hats in the mouth. Thank you, Gareth. This is a wonderful gift. I look forward to wearing this all of next week.
Ben, I'd like to repurpose this gift and give it to you.
Okay. I'll take it. Thank you.
Ben can give it to some old man in a stinky, sweaty sauna.
But it's amazing how it fits my head.
Well, I had to get the extra large one.
Thank you. Very, 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 very generous. Very, very thoughtful. So yeah, I mean, this you can wet it in cold water because as long as your head is cold, you can go longer. It's like when you work out, if you can wet your hands and your feet, you actually train harder because you're cooling your body a little bit. Once you overheat in life, you just can't do much.
Yeah,
it's like
and of course the brain needs to be kept at a regular temperature.
Yes.
Otherwise, you just pass out.
Yes.
Which happens to people in the sauna, funnily enough.
It does.
Doesn't happen too often, but I heard it at my gym that one of the older guys like passed out. He just fell and like hit his head.
Yeah,
which is not great.
Well, at a golf course I played last weekend, a couple of years ago, a guy actually just died. Went in there and just died.
Sauna.
Oh.
Well, this is why you need a sauna hat.
I know. First question, was he wearing a sauna hat? No. Well, sorry.
But did you get into a conversation about sauna hats with one of these chaps the other day?
The Russian guy.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me.
Well, now I'm going to wear it, and he's going to be like, fuck, look at that guy, this sauna hats.
Yeah, because you don't see these often. In fact, I think you knew nothing about the sauna hat until I told you there was such a thing.
No, like I've always been aware of it.
Don't lie, Ben. I told you don't know everything about saunas.
I've been aware of it, but I haven't ever thought about it. I didn't think that a day would come where I would be so lucky as to have one.
Okay, so here is a video of the mother of the child who made your sauna hat. She's going to sing a song, which we all know very well. It's by AC/DC, and it's called Back in Black. And this is the mother of the small 12-year-old who made Ben's hat.
After sale bonus. I love this.
Go on.
To be back, yes I have let loose from the noose that had me hanging about. I keep looking at the sky cause it's getting me high. Forget the hurts cause I never die. I got my life person. I busted every one of them running wild cause I'm back. Yes I'm back. Oh I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Oh, I'm back in black. Yes, I'm back in black.
Isn't she the greatest?
She's not quite. There's this one woman. I sent this one woman to you a while ago. She's also Asian.
Could be the same one.
No, she's.
That one's very famous. Her name is Wing.
It's not her because her voice is too high.
Why does it say that Ben is Matthew Dixon on the screen? Why do the comments look like that? We're not used to comments like that.
James? Well, test again because now you just thrust these tiny
and you don't see anything.
The ratio's all off, James.
These producers, really. I came in here this morning. I said to Flex, "Hey, Flex." He goes, "How's it?" So I asked him, it's very four ways of you. So he's like, "Yeah, if I go back to KZN," I said, "Yeah, Zogshaya." He's like, I reckon he'd get beaten up if he tried that. How's it?
Yeah,
shit
he would.
there, yeah.
He spends too much time with James.
He
that's the problem.
tries it with us Watts, though.
Or the Watts.
Yeah, you see.
Flex takes great pride in doing that. He's even started making like really inappropriate jokes like the Whites as well.
The Watts. All right. Do you want more stupidity for this morning to start your day?
Sure. Like that was a great laugh.
That's
so
what I'm
let's
here for.
go.
All right.
We've
So
gone back to old comments now.
Yeah, you can see
we have
it.
found. I know it's technically still the month of love.
Yes.
It's the last day of.
And I know that Ben is very peculiar about what sort of a woman he might be interested. She has to be interested in sports. Well, you're picky. Okay, I'm picky. You're picky. Simpy was picky. We're not just going to take anyone.
But I'm not just going to take peculiar.
No, okay. So no, you may find her peculiar, but I found a video online, and I like the pole vaulters, right? Sportswomen are attractive because they're disciplined and they're athletic
with their lives.
Yeah, I mean, so I found a woman online. Well, she just appeared in my feed, and I thought, how lucky am I that I'm going to be the person who introduces Ben to his future wife.
Amazing.
Gareth, look at you doing the Lord's work.
And a sauna hat.
Let's
You're
come
having
on,
a
today's your
bonus
day.
morning. Yeah. All right. So here she is. She's a rugby player though, and I know.
Where Benjamin?
He
Whoa,
says I'm
whoa,
out.
whoa,
I'm out,
whoa, whoa,
right,
whoa, whoa.
Run the tape there, James.
Wait.
Flex, let him see.
First of all, after an incredible career, you've just played your final game of rugby. Has that sunk in yet? And what are the emotions you're feeling right now?
I think exhaustion, first off. Full credit to Lightning. I think it was a brilliant game. Really great crowd. I'm probably still in shock. This is my last ever game of rugby, but to play with the girls at a great stadium like this, just really fun and really appreciative of actually getting to play.
The team certainly had us on the edge of our seats tonight. Obviously, we were on the wrong side of the result, but what a match to end the season on, and what a match to end your career on.
Yeah, I think really good game from both sides, to be honest. But I think we've got to look forward to next year, and this will be the foundation of a brilliant team next year. And just to be a little part of that is really quite special.
I mean, like, wonderful woman, great sense of humor. She's got a gum guard with crooked teeth, so that was quite funny.
No, that's her. Those are her teeth.
Oh, yeah. Either way, romantically, I'm not interested. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay, I have to ask. Immediately when Gareth mentioned that she's a rugby player, you were out. Why?
Because she'll look like that. Guys, you can't pull the sort of wool over my eyes on these kind of things, right? This is not my first, second, or third rodeo.
Feeling hot or cold right now?
It's great. It just feels like it should. No, guys, even if you find a really attractive woman who plays rugby,
a very attractive woman, like that one,
guys, it's not going to work. I know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we give up.
All right.
Well, you give up. You went to the bottom of the barrel. You've given up from there. Thank you.
Not my job. You know what? Frankly,
out
of the kindness of my heart, to try to introduce you to someone, I don't see anything wrong
with
his
range of
impossible. Impossible.
Fit.
Some people are
loves herself.
Some people are impossible to please.
Has ambitions. Yeah. Come on now.
I'm just not doing it anymore.
Yes, she plays rugby. I mean, that was the red flag to start with. I tried to trump it up to be something that's not. She's gonna smell like mud and.
All right, how about some good old like men versus women shit for this morning?
Okay,
all right.
Okay.
So we'll start off with.
Did you just go into your wheel of conversation fortune?
No, I'll tell you why. Because people like this stuff. Because then you get all the guys will be like saying this to all the girls at work today, and then all the girls will say this to the guys at work, and they'll be. So first of all,
okay.
Going through an entire box of tissues during a movie is a very different thing for a girl and a guy.
What kind of movie is it?
Yeah, what kind of movie?
That's exactly the point. Because a girl who has a whole box of tissues to go through during a movie, you know what kind of movie it is. A very sad movie. A guy who goes through a whole box of tissues in a movie, that's porn. That's what that is. All right? So there's a big difference.
You got it now.
Slow on the uptake this Friday morning, Simpiwe.
Wow.
All right.
To the horror of James. You only got that now.
Then I have this for you, which I think is quite interesting. This is a protest that happened in Iceland.
Oh, no.
Most people don't really pay any attention to anything that happens in Iceland.
Okay.
And who could blame them? Most people couldn't point to Iceland on a map. And here is what happened at a feminist protest in Iceland. Pay attention to the numbers, everybody, all right?
It's all about equality until it's time to work.
So 100,000 women went on strike today in Iceland to demand gender equality. The entire population is 370,000. So over 25% of the population went on strike. And I have some crazy news for you. The economy did not come to a stop and it continued as normal. The only memo I got was that HR departments were getting no complaints for the 24 hours that the women were on strike. And men were writing that they were really sorry women didn't get gender equality. But I heard one CEO said it was nice to finally get some shit done, end quote.
All right, ladies. So there's something to consider. This is one of the most progressive countries in the world, Iceland, okay? So there is a lot of gender equality. In fact, you could even argue that Iceland is one of those countries that does everything it can to try and recruit women into engineering and mathematics and science.
Can we stop, though? Can they just put a break on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not working, guys. And
I wouldn't say that.
If 100,000 women out of a total population of 370,000 people all went on strike, and it didn't change the economy for a minute, didn't change anything, you've got to ask yourself, like, do all those women work in the HR department?
I don't know, but I can tell you now that I just don't want to work anymore. So can we stop fighting for
You want to get married and
just be a housewife, chilling somewhere in Dubai, sipping on a mimosa or something.
Must have been a bit of a tough night to hook up in Iceland that night. Those women would have been very confident and sturdy and
gung-ho about their
stuff.
rights.
And then the guys would have been like, oh, geez, it's just Friday. Just pack it in, Grunhilde.
And Brunhilde is probably the name of the leader of the strike. Yeah. Anyway, so there's some fun for you this morning. Well, that last bit was fun for the guys because girls won't be talking about that today. It's terrible. Very embarrassing. By the way, Elon with his 5 things you did this week. You heard about that? The email he sent out.
He sent, and if you don't reply, then you're fired.
Yeah, apparently they're going to give everybody there'll be a second email, second chance for them to reply. And anyone who doesn't reply to the second email, it gives them grounds to fire them. Because what you're meant to do is you're meant to reply to your line manager and then to Elon with your 5 things. And I reckon if you can't say 5 things that you've done in 5 days, you probably shouldn't have that job anyway. Well, 5 things in 5 days.
If someone asks you
one thing a day.
If someone asks you that and you A, like your job, or B, think your job is important, that should be the easiest thing in the world to do. Now, I don't want to sound like a pro-Elon person right off the bat here, because everyone thinks that you can't say anything nice about this dude now. But he's so anal about productivity, this guy. That's his thing. He is the kind of guy you want for that job because they're trying to increase productivity and efficiency. That is the easiest thing in the whole world. You can ask me 5 things, I'll tell you 25 things this week because I just like my life. Same with you. It's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you are struggling with that, there's really very little I can do.
Do people think that it's a violation of their rights to be asked?
I wouldn't say that. I think it depends on what you do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
These people heard of timesheets?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's doing the whole, it's federal, what. So we want to know, what are you doing?
Yeah, especially if you work for the government, because you work for us.
So that I'm like,
Can
definitely.
You imagine if we did that here?
Yes.
I mean, I think that so many government employees would.
Oh, the system is offline. That's what they did.
And not only that, but I think we probably have a lot of people who are on the payroll, but they're not there.
Oh, yes.
They might be dead.
Yeah.
You don't know, right? We don't know how many people work for government.
That's true.
So now how unreasonable is it? I think everyone should have this every now and again.
Yeah, I say for government jobs, yes.
Yes.
Definitely. And that should also be made public to the people.
On X. Every minister should go on X with their 5 things.
Yeah. And then we get a weekly report of what's been done.
So when it's lunch at La Parada, that's all of Wednesday.
Oh.
Probably Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
So you didn't do any work.
Yeah.
Because lunch is not work. Don't tell me about a lunch meeting.
Exactly.
That's not work.
I think this is fair.
Okay.
Mapello, who's really the devil's advocate, often when we forget that there's another side to an argument, he says, I could mention 5 things I did in one day easily.
Everyone can do it. If you have any sort of purpose or function in life, you can do it easily.
Slippery Pickle says, Ben's tinfoil hat seems a bit dull. Has it lost its luster? Ben is unimpressed. He did not like that.
Ben loves his hat, guys. Leave him alone.
Lack of respect. I mean, this sauna hat's been a long time coming. We've been talking about it. It's finally here. A joyous moment.
Dirk says, most people just don't want to be held accountable for anything. Just give me my money and don't ask what I actually do.
Correct.
And I think that's probably true for a lot of people. They would be happy. There used to be this thing called constructive dismissal, where you'd basically put someone at a desk.
Yeah.
With, in the old days, a landline phone. Now you give them a computer.
Okay, cool.
And they sit there, and you don't give them anything to do. And a sane, healthy, productive, ambitious person will go crazy in a week. And they'll quit. They'll go like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything here. I can't handle this. I'm out. You tell them to sharpen pencils. And after doing that for 3 days, they're like,
this is boring. It's not for me.
I can't do this. It's like prison then, because you actually dread going in there the next day to sharpen just pencils or to sit there on your own with no one talking to you. And I know that there are people who probably scroll Instagram the whole way through their day. But I think after a few days, unless you are a very stupid person you probably will want to leave. Social media may prove me wrong, though. There probably are lots of people, not just in South Africa, all over the world, and not just in government jobs, but even in the private sector. There are probably a lot of people who are very happy, as Dirk says, to just get paid. Just give me my money. Don't ask what I do. And there's outrage in America. I mean, there are people who are actually like outraged that the head of government efficiency, which is Elon's job, asked them what they do.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable, right?
An absolute shock horror. He's done this with a big company of his own. He went into Twitter where they were doing fuck all, and he's done this. So he's got experience in working with people and efficiency. But people just put their hate in front of everything, and they cannot see what's behind it.
Well, Strya Mighty 19 says, ugh, fuck Elon. He's the most egotistical person on the planet right now. Someone sent him to Mars already. Sounds like you don't have enough to do.
But why is he egotistical? He's a nerd. He's a nerd who's been given a position of prominence that he's worked towards. Why is that egotistical?
No, because he's richer than Strya.
It's like saying all guys are narcissists because they don't like you anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly
How dare you not like me? Like, wait, bitch.
So many
now you're being personal.
So many government employees in this country can't count to 5.
Oh, there's also that.
Ben, why the baby bonnet? So some people are joining late. Barbara, do you want to answer Barbara's question?
Yeah, Barbara, I was gifted a sauna hat today, and like a kid on
Christmas.
Don't.
No, fuck, Barbara. Yeah. Pay attention. Join the show at the right time. We're not going over. This is not your. Because you did come in halfway. This is like those people who, when you're sitting at lunch with your friends, and then they come and join you, and they're like, "Oh, so what were you guys just talking about?" You're like, "No, you got to get here at the start."
Barbara,
I said to Simpiwe this morning,
yawning.
We start at 6. We're all here at 6. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're a little bit late, but that's not usually Simpiwe and Ben and my fault. Ben was a little late this morning.
Yeah, we did have to wait for the diva.
Guys,
Sometimes
it was 1+6. I apologize profusely.
All right. Gene Hackman, wife and dog found dead. Yeah, I heard about this. I don't know what the circumstances are. I just saw the news flash about like Gene Hackman, the actor.
Gene Hackman, 96.
Is he 90? Was he 96 years old?
Oh, that's old.
At
You've lived
96,
a life.
most things will kill you, but there's now rumors that it was like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Well, why him, the wife, and the dog all at the same time? They all died during the same time period.
Yeah.
That's very suspicious.
Tough one on the dog, because dogs are pretty good. They can survive things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not right that they took the dog with them, you know?
No.
If the two of them were in like a Hitler-Eva Braun pact, you don't take the
Maybe
dog.
the dog was in on it as well. Like,
the dog is like, yeah, I want to die. Yeah. No, terrible. I don't like that at all. Ben, you look very cute in your sauna hat. I want to adopt you, says Carol.
Oh,
Carol, that's off the table though, but thanks.
Someone like that Joburg mayor, Dada Morero, would definitely be fired, says Emma Nhlapo. Yeah, she's right. Dave says, a yoga pant Botox babe saw me hiking in fellies and a long khaki pant, and she said, haven't seen anyone hiking in their work clothes. I was polite. And I wanted to ask why she asked, since she was also wearing, Jesus, this is a long message.
Her
broken into pieces. I don't even know how it ends.
Oh.
That's a very stupid comment.
Sounds like the
just ban that person from commenting.
Sounds like the start of an incredible
ban them.
porno.
This is not a democracy. Ban them. He is an egotistical dick who thinks he actually built his companies with his bare hands. What exactly has he physically done? Real, actual engineers are the ones building his companies. Tabo Pali, listen, let me explain something to you. The person who owns the company takes the risks. Okay? They are the ones who make the decisions and they put their own money at risk. That is why they end up taking the lion's share of that money when the company makes a profit. Because when no one else would touch it, because the company has no money, he comes in, he says, I'll buy the company, I'll make it better. He does, then he gets to keep most of that money. If you're so clever, then why aren't you a billionaire? Oh, I didn't get an answer. Homotsa says, just the wife and him and the dog is alive. Oh, is the dog alive? I didn't know that. See, I don't know enough about the story.
Okay, great. I'm happy.
So people can go, but not the dog. You guys
Well,
are
I mean, they
heartless.
were long in the tooth, some people. They've had a life. The dog, though, the dog's got many car rides and crotch sniffs ahead of it.
I just, this whole Elon thing, to go back to that, I'm sorry to pretend I didn't even hear your conversation about the dog and the carbon monoxide or whatever. People, a lot of people, let's not say everybody, and certainly not too many of the people who listen to this show, a lot of people are just jealous.
Yep.
Right? They're just jealous of someone else's car or money or wife or house or whatever. Now, I'm genuinely not jealous of Elon's various women, because I don't actually think he has very good taste in women. Okay. I'm not jealous of his money per se. I'm jealous, but by the way, he lives in a tiny apartment. Yeah. Okay, he sold all his stuff. He used to have like real estate all over the world. He does have a private jet. That's quite nice. I think that must be a cool thing to have. Again, I'm not jealous though, because as a very rich person I do know once said to me, if it flies, floats, or fucks, rent it, don't buy it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Which is proper rich person advice, if any of us are ever that rich. But I just think that this is a very exceptional, he's odd, okay? He's an odd guy, but the kind of vitriol that people have for him, because he's going in and saving the taxpayer money. I mean, what would we not do to have some of our tax money back? Just put up that picture of Javier Milei of Argentina. Look at this quickly. Tell me you're not jealous of this as a tax-paying citizen. Argentina's Javier Milei announces a 90% tax reduction in 2025.
Oh, can the ANC see this?
Simpiwe, can you imagine getting back 90% of the tax that you pay the government? Now, that is what I call effective government. Now, if Elon and Trump and whoever else, I mean, it could have been Joe Biden, but that would never happen under a Democrat administration because they keep expanding the government. Frankly, so have the Republicans for the last 60 years. Mm-hmm. If a government could actually reduce its size, which I can tell you now, it'll never happen in this country, ever. There are a number of reasons for that we don't need to go into. But imagine getting back what kind of mongoloid would not want 90% of the money they give to the government back?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Just for a moment, fantasize about what you do with almost half your paycheck back every month that you have to hand over at gunpoint to the government.
I gave SARS money this week. I would prefer to keep it.
Of course.
Don't call me greedy, but I prefer to keep that.
Right. And here in our country, we might have been facing an extra 2% on VAT, which, let me tell you, would really, really hurt poor people. But I'm not using them as the shield in this. It would hurt all of us. Everything becomes more expensive.
Yes. Everything.
Okay, so here's our government adding taxes, and there's Milei in Argentina removing taxes. Which one do you think is better?
Yeah, it's just the level of Stockholm syndrome in this country, and this whole poppy syndrome, call it what you want, but envy is one of the deadly sins for a reason. Yeah, envy is what Marxism is rooted in.
Yeah,
these people are just envious of this kind of shit, and unfortunately, every now and again, you can actually look at someone and go, you know what, well done, you're fucking great at that, or you're so much better than me, because this.
Sorry, that hat's ridiculous.
But it's true though. There's better humans out there than you. I'm sorry to break it to you at your adult age, but there are people that are better. Me in a sauna hat in a sauna is better than a person without a sauna hat in a sauna.
Super Megalol says, I would buy a sauna hat with my 90% tax back. I can tell you wouldn't even need that much. Ben's sauna hat didn't cost me a lot. And Simpiwe's also didn't cost me a lot.
Which I've gifted to Ben.
Guys, this is the thing. When we pay less tax, we can focus more on things like what do I need? Gifts.
Yeah.
Look how much joy this hat has given me this morning.
Listen to this. Carl dos Santos says he just paid SARS 700,000 Rand in VAT.
Carl does this every year.
Yesterday.
He tells us how much.
Fucking hates SARS so much.
Bragging about how much money he has. Like
he does, huh?
Yo, okay. We get it.
But okay, so he's obviously making money. But let me tell you something. He shouldn't be penalized like that, because you know what's happening to that 700,000 Rand. As soon as he's paid it over, guess what?
Oh, they're chowing it.
It's
going into the tummies, the bellies.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, man.
So yeah, that's where it's going.
Craziest thing is yonder is you have people who have never accomplished anything good for humanity throwing shade of baseless hate to someone who is the most hardworking and making great changes for humanity. Listen, if this guy, even if he wasn't trying to get humanity to Mars, okay, which some people think is stupid. I don't want to live on Mars. If I were a gazillionaire, I certainly wouldn't waste time trying to get to Mars. He has this bold, ambitious idea of us living on other planets. Thrilled. I'm thrilled he's doing it. I really am. It's not something I'd be interested in, but well done, Elon. What I'm impressed by is that wherever he goes, he seems to make things cheaper and more efficient. And he makes them better on any scale. Like if you had, don't tell me Twitter isn't better now than it was when Jack Dorsey was running it. And we had all those people just shadow banning any point of view they didn't like. Better. Right. And he's doing it with, I think it's like 1/10 of the staff that were there before. So if you believe inefficiency needs to be baked into the system, obviously you'll hate what Elon's doing. And you probably have never run your own business because you cannot have dead weight on your staff or you'll eventually end up going bankrupt. You're paying people to do something that isn't bringing in any money, isn't creating value. Why are you paying them?
But that's always the thing, right? People who sling the shit have done nothing in their lives.
Well, that's what John is saying. Yeah.
99 times out of 100.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Elon could ask Cyril, says Lou, except for trying to piss America off, what 5 things have you done?
Exactly.
It's amazing to me. Like I asked a guy at the gym actually the other day because he told me he was a Cyril fan. And you can't really find those people outside of editorial newsrooms in South Africa, right?
Well, entrepreneurs maybe, yeah.
Not even. They won't even admit it because they actually might have been doing better when Cyril wasn't around because there's less money. You know what I mean? Anyway, this guy, I said to him, just tell me 3 things because I'm this story about Elon's on my mind, right? So I said, just tell me 3 things that you reckon would go on his tombstone. You know, I mean, like with Madiba, we could have said father of the nation.
Yes.
Everybody would have agreed with that. We could have said peace bringer or whatever else, and people would have agreed with that. Like serious achievements, right? Brought South Africa out of a divisive past into a future, created the Rainbow Nation, whatever. And there are criticisms of him now, but that doesn't matter. Tell me 3 things that you reckon in all the time we've known about Cyril Ramaphosa. Tell me 3 things that you think he's actually achieved and done. And this is the president. Let's not even get into the rest of the bureaucracy, okay? And our ministers, all of whom seem to be cuck. Anything?
I'm gonna guess he said that he's championed BE to spread the wealth.
Which hasn't happened.
Which hasn't happened, I know. But I'm guessing he went with that.
That's not a good thing to...
Because Cyril basically invented BE. Cyril's hands...
Well, he was the first guy to get his hands in the trough.
Cyril's hands were so big in apartheid that that's where he first
And let's not just give him the blame, because I think there are lots of craven, spineless businessmen back in the 90s who handed over just vast swathes of cash to people like Cyril and Tokyo Sekwale.
It takes 2.
You know?
Yeah, it takes 2 to tango on that.
So those guys are as much a part of the problem, even though they're all retired and living on wine farms or in foreign countries.
Or in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all I've got. You're asking me to...
That's it? Anything from you, Simpiwe?
No. Got nothing.
Yeah,
It's just cupcake to me.
Yeah, I thought about this for a long time. I thought maybe they could put that video of him trying to put the mask on and not getting it on.
He is the president that was hiding what? How much money was in the...
Pala sofa. But you don't want that on your epitaph. We could also...
He knows where on a livestock auction.
I think other people do that for him.
Other people do it for him, yeah.
It's like everything in his life. Other people do it for him.
Sorry, going back to this...
He did have his iPad stolen. They could always put, where is my iPad? I can't find my iPad.
He's a man that shows surprise as an emotion.
No.
He knows where the Madupi power plant is.
No, man. You need to do real things. Like and we're not talking
Cyril,
about adding on
Cyril, I'm
government
trying.
grants.
My pillow, we're trying here.
We really are trying. And he hasn't done anything exceptional, right? And I think also one of the reasons why people might not like Elon is that he brings change.
Yeah.
If you are so used to the robots not working, the day that someone actually builds robots and it's working, you're like, oh, what's this? Like,
Look at this
gosh.
egotistical prick trying to control things.
Yeah, right. And I think
Fucking
that's all he's
stupid.
doing. He's just changing how things are
Carl
normally
DeSantos
done.
says he has a kind face. Does that count?
No,
Wow.
he's cupcake.
Slim pickings here if you have
No.
a kind face.
Okay,
but so let me, before we get to sport, because I do want to do this
So
before
just quickly,
7.
so this mouth breather you were speaking to at the gym.
Yeah.
Did he have an answer?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
No, and he's a Cyril fan, so that's why I bring it
Even
up now.
worse.
Yeah, because he was the one who said he said, oh, anything but Zuma. And I said to him, really?
Are you sure?
Tell me about your Cyril. And he couldn't come up with
Your
anything.
argument is ever anything but. You are putting yourself in another
Yeah.
pigeonhole of bullshit.
Oh, that's it. Anyway, okay, so this brings me to the last thing I want to talk about before we get to sport, because Ben is actually leaving us at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
He's driving off to somewhere in the north.
oh, look at
So here it
Saw
is.
that.
Everybody is in a mad, flustered, insane rage on Twitter about how well AfriForum are doing on their diplomatic mission to Washington.
Aren't they being charged with treason now from the government?
Good luck on that front.
Mm.
It's not. I mean, it's not treason. Isn't it embarrassing? Again, like this falls on Cyril's plate, right? If a small group of guys who run a minority rights organization can have greater success in the most powerful country in the world with the leaders of that country than your minister of international relations and cooperation and a whole department of people that you employ here in Pretoria and an embassy in Washington that's there permanently can achieve. If this small group of, I think it's 4 or 5 of these guys in all the pictures that I've seen, can get to see all these different groups and these different people and really hit them with their agenda and get some recognition from them, build relationships, how cuck must you be? Now, you can be angry with AfriForum. You might not support them. You might not like them. That's cool. I don't have a problem with any of that. Mm-hmm. You may even have a valid argument about how sovereignty works and how a country can direct its international policy. But how embarrassing that this small group of guys is invited to the White House, invited to Congress, speaking to all the important, influential NGOs and think tanks in Washington. How cuck is our Department of International Relations and Cooperation? If they can't even get, and they've been trying to get an audience with Donald Trump since he said what he said about our country, he's not even interested in talking to them. How crap must you be? Again, going back to efficiency, being able to do your job properly, being a little bit ambitious about yourself. You have to be really shit to be ignored the way our government's being ignored. And for a little tiny rights organization, which has, I think, 300,000 people who are paying members, by the way, you have so much success in Washington, D.C. What an absolute disgrace and humiliation for all the people who think AfriForum are the devil and that the president and his Department of International Relations and Cooperation are the most virtuous. It's just horrific. And on that note, let's get to some sport.
Because the Springbok fixtures have been announced for the home games.
I'm sorry,
So,
that hat.
If you love a good Springbok Saturday piss up, well, now you know where to
Loftus.
where you now know where to direct your bucky and your brow smoke. So yes, Gareth, the first one is at Loftus.
Oh, nice.
July the 5th, the Italians are coming over and they are going to get hammered at Pretoria.
Okay.
So first test. Second test, we're playing Italy twice. Geberge, they get the one. 12th of July.
Mhm.
Massive day for them.
Mhm.
And then the Georgians, they're coming down 19th of July, and that'll be at Nelspruit, Morbella Stadium. Then we go to we play New Zealand twice away in the Rugby Championship, which is the most important thing. But the home games, we've got Australia twice at home. First time, 16th of August in Johannesburg, Ellis Park, and then in Cape Town, 23rd of August at the Cape Town Stadium. And then Durban, cuck place to play rugby. The Springboks play like shit there, but you guys still get a test match, so count yourselves lucky. 27th of September, That'll be at the Durban Stadium.
Which, by the way, you just mentioned Durban now. I saw a lot on your social media about some golf course in Durban where they're playing
the majestic Durban Country Club.
And you said they fixed it despite like big floods. And
yeah, Nick Johnson from Johnson Workwear. He's one of those guys that's he's like, people will say like he's like an Elon, right?
Right.
He wants efficiency. He wants to do things. He changes things.
By the way, they make the overalls and all that stuff, right?
This bloke put his own money, cock and blocked it, and basically said this golf course is amazing. It's part of our golfing heritage. We must try and fix this. Municipality is so fucked in the area. Drainage swamps around.
Oh.
The course actually is very low lying, and for 1 or 2 months a year, it just doesn't drain, and it's a floodplain. And this guy's like, no, screw that. This golf course is something really, really special. They haven't had the SA Open since 2010. It's back there this week.
Wow!
And of course, the
the
heavens absolutely opened, and the guys worked through the nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, to try to get the course back. We had so much rain on Tuesday; it was ridiculous. And yesterday they played golf.
Amazing.
Tournaments going ahead.
Credit to the hardworking people of that country
people just
club.
want to make a difference. People still have some pride about where they're from and do things. It's beautiful. It really is.
Okay, lovely.
The Durban rugby thing wasn't a dig at Durban. It's just that the Boks played like shite there.
Okay.
It's in September, so maybe it's a better time. There is URC action this weekend. So if you're at Loftus again, that's 3 weeks in a row. Bulls versus Stormers. That's the big one. 5 o'clock. Bulls versus Stormers. Huge game.
There must be people who've been pissed for like 4 weeks running now.
Wonderful. But this is the thing, right? So when the Six Nations are happening, because the Six Nations teams, when they do play URC like they will do this weekend, they are much weakened teams because the focus is the Six Nations. So we let them do their thing for a couple of months, and then we do our thing. We play all our big local derbies. It's the big local matches. Speaking of which, the Lions will be hosting the Sharks 2:30 on Saturday. So those are your big games there. In the Betway Premiership, Sundowns versus Chiefs, 3:30 Saturday. Yeah, sure. Chiefs fans are kind of...
Chiefs is not going to take that one, but it's okay.
Chiefs fans are, squeaky bums with that one. And then the Gallants are hosting the Pirates. And then it's FA Cup weekend. So we went to the FA Cup quarterfinals, which means that we are getting down to the business end of things. Man City are taking on Plymouth Argyle. That's 7:45 on Saturday. Sunday, we've got Newcastle versus Brighton at 3:45. And then Man United. This is all they have left in their season to try and go somewhere in this tournament. They are taking on Fulham at 6:30. And then Monday, Nottingham Forest, who some are tipping to be the champions of this thing. They are taking on Ipswich. Of course, Nottingham Forest will finish probably top 4 in the league. They drew with Arsenal this week, so they are a good side, obviously. That game will be taking place on Monday. And I know you're going to ask, what's happening with Accrington Stanley? And I said we have to take a break from them because
Have they won a match?
As we started reporting on them, they went to shit.
Yeah.
Have they won a match?
Tuesday, away at Tranmere, they won 1-0.
Oh!
Wow. It's because we took our eye off.
We took our eye off them for a little bit.
Shout out to the boys.
All that shine. They got to play with a bit more flair, a bit more freedom.
Come on now.
Now, I tell you what, it's a huge result for them because they're languishing at the foot of League 4 in England, basically, which is like they call it the second league, whatever it is. It's the 4th league in total. Now, Tranmere also in the relegation zone, right?
Okay.
Carlisle currently, they're on 23 points. Morecambe are on 26 points. So they're gone. But Tranmere, Harrogate, and Accrington Stanley, they're in a bit of a sketchy zone here to try to get away from relegation. Now, speaking of that, Saturday, Accrington Stanley take on Harrogate Town. They're currently tied on points. Accrington Stanley above on goal difference. So massive game there at Saturday. And then Champions Trophy. I know it's a diluted World Cup, whatever. Not a lot of heat around this. There's been some rain. Pakistan is shite. But South Africa take on England. England just lost to Afghanistan, which sucks for them, obviously. Today, Friday, Afghanistan will take on Australia. If Australia win that, they'll go through. And then ultimately, if South Africa beats England tomorrow, they'll go through. And then they'll go into the semis with New Zealand and India, who do actually play each other on Sunday. Yeah. And then, of course, the SA Open. There are currently 3 guys on 7 under at the Durban Country Club. Sam Bairstow, Frederick Fromm, and Darren Fickart. That'll be taking place for the whole weekend. The golf course is phenomenal. It's a wonderful event. So, yeah, that's all your sport for the weekend.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Bringing us up to just before 7 o'clock. And on the way, we have guests joining us. We have lots of other fun stuff to get to. But before we do any of that, I have something else to show you quickly.
Oh.
Yeah. This is a crazy demon-possessed guy. Or I don't know that for a fact.
Should I start praying?
No, but have a look at this. This is an old man in a rock band of some kind.
Okay.
This was also trending all over social media yesterday. I don't know what's going on with this dude. I really don't know. But I've never seen anyone so intense.
Okay.
Just, you know which one I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Look at him.
What's going on?
I love how they put a fan on him just
Sure.
for the extra hair.
That's a scary looking man. You need to see it again. See-
No, I don't. I don't want to be traumatized.
His eyes are like this the whole time. Here we go. It's on again. Look
Like
at
this is from James's General Bank of Visuals.
And everybody else was like, and he just.
That's a scary looking.
That's the look of death.
There's somebody's granddad.
Who went missing 5 years ago.
Somebody's granddad who's a meth addict. Yo. I mean, I don't know. What do you think the band is called?
I don't know, something death.
Heavy colostomy bags.
Misericord. Something like that. It's got to be something like
Misery strollers.
yeah.
Granddads unite.
Yeah.
They're all old. They're all
Grandpas from hell.
Whoa.
Something like that. All right. I don't know. Anyway, that's to make your morning. And we will be back in just a moment. Don't go away. It's Friday and the end of the month. They've coincided to make this the perfect weekend. Yes, March starts tomorrow. And so does your weekend start today.
You've just
I'm the victim. Yeah. Of potholes. I drive sports cars. You can't fix potholes when they are wet. You cannot work on a road surface that is wet. The biggest problem with people complaining at this particular time, it happens every year. From December up until February, there's heavy rains that are happening. Yes. Now, water is the biggest enemy of road, of asphalt. What we would call tar. Yes, it washes the roads away. That is why you would find a lot of potholes during this time. And unfortunately, you can't fix potholes when they are wet. You cannot work on a road surface that is wet. So which is why the potholes will take longer to fix at this particular time. Of course. But once the rain has stopped, you will see JRA working. But it doesn't mean we do not work. We do respond where it gets dry. The teams go out and they go and fix. The only work that we do during a rainy time or when it rains is unblocking of stormwater drains and so on and so on. But the road infrastructure we cannot touch when it's wet because it will be waste of asphalt.
Maybe like, yeah, just only a picture, then I'll send you maybe $500, whatever.
There are fetishes that people have. Toes, they are toe only OnlyFans people. Like OnlyFans woman just shoots her toes and people buy the
They get paid, ne?
They get paid for toes. Have you found men like wanting to pay to see your breasts or sexually for your breasts?
Or fetishes like that?
What happened?
No, I just only got a DM on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, I have like, I think 1,000 messages on TikTok.
Sure.
Yeah. Then,
for guys saying,
yeah, please, send me your boobs for $800. So like, baby, look.
$800. That's like 16,000 rand, 15,000 rand. Eh?
Is it 50,000?
Gee whiz, and you got 1,000 of those.
And Sister Bettina's looking at you right now like, hey,
I want gigantic.
I want my grandmother to sweep these things.
We've commodified women's bodies. So like, even something that for you is a medical condition. Like, how crazy is that?
People are so
It's a medical condition, and people are like, I'll pay to see that. Like, who's gonna be like, yo, you got a huge growth on your back?
Fall pregnant. I'm not saying they fall pregnant to do this, but the pregnant women go and do OnlyFans while they're pregnant, because there's guys who want to see a pregnant woman doing certain things to.
Morning, it's Friday, and you are here with us on the Gareth Cliff Show on the Real Network. And yeah, tomorrow is the beginning of the third month of the year.
My favorite month.
Your favorite? Wow, I wonder why.
It's my birthday month.
There we go. So get ready, because Simpiwe puts a wish list out on the internet and waits for blessers to bring her all of her stuff.
Come on now. A girl can only ask. Like, that's the only thing I can ever do.
Well, someone very wise once said to me, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Thank you.
So, maybe you should ask for what you want. I just saw my bank sends me these things.
Notifications.
It's money coming off my account, not coming in. Anyway, look, I did a very stupid thing the other day.
What did you do?
And I know you're going to mock me, and I'm ready for it.
Okay.
And I deserve it.
Okay. I have my tea in hand, so I'm ready.
Let me spill the tea. My domestic worker needs a TV.
Okay.
So I said, no problem, I'll buy the TV.
Okay.
But nobody has a TV license. Why are you laughing already?
I think I know what you're going to say, but continue.
So you can't buy a TV if you don't have a TV license. They won't let you walk out of the shop. Now, the last time I had to buy a TV, because my TV's old. It's been there 12 or 13 years, okay? Honestly, it's been there a long-ass time. In fact, it's probably even 15 years by now.
Okay.
And it only gets turned on every now and then. That's why it's lasted so long.
Sure.
Most people's TV's on the whole time.
Yeah.
So clearly my domestic worker watches a lot more TV, because this is the third one now.
Hectic.
Okay? Anyway, so I'm like, no, don't worry, I'll get the TV.
Okay.
Can't, because you can't buy it online. You can't go into the shop. They won't sell. No one will sell you a TV without a TV license.
So what did you do, Gareth?
So I paid my TV.
You need to say that louder. You need to say that louder.
So I paid my TV license.
Oh, look at you. You're a good South African citizen. I'm laughing because I feel the pain. I feel the pain in your behalf.
So last time I did it, a friend of mine who's like, she's very nerdy, and she's like, I pay my TV license. She said it at one party. We were all saying we don't pay. So I phoned her and I said to her, I'm going to borrow your TV license and go and do this. That was the last time, right? This time.
You have to be an adult.
Yeah. Guys, what's going on here in Midrand? I have a meeting out here. So I came to the Virgin Active at Carlswald. It stinks of BO so badly. You know what? Can I tell you something? We'll get back to TV license in a minute. Why are some people unaware of how much they smell? I saw a video on Instagram the other day. Some Zimbabwean guy on a taxi, and the guys on the taxi, listen to this, Simpiwe, the rest of the passengers dunked him in water with soap and made him wash magazine pompini there right outside the taxi rank. But why are some people not aware of the fact that, do you not have a nose? Can you not smell?
You can.
So what is that? Why are because there's some guys who also, whether it's at the gym, whether it's in the shops, wherever it is, they don't know. And maybe nobody loves them, and no one will say to them, hey,
I think that's what happens, right? I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt that in the morning they do wash, right? They either don't put enough, or the particular deodorant that they use doesn't work for them, right? And so they go about their day, and I think they start like, and then they're like, nah, it's fine, it's not that bad. But by the time it gets to me, it's already like,
and in a taxi where you are squashed in like sardines.
And they don't open the windows in the taxi.
No.
That
is
is
very unpleasant. So these other passengers actually grabbed this guy and they manhandled him into
because
like,
it was bad.
you know, a drum, one of those drums that they put water or
I
petrol
think
or whatever
that's
in.
community
They
service.
dunked him in with soap.
Yes, and they say umuntu nabantu, like
Yeah, the hand washes the hand.
Yeah, literally they did that because some people really don't know how bad they stink, and you maybe get used to the smell. It's like walking into Joburg. If you go there every day, you forget how
And he
bad
came out
it
of there. He
smells.
came out like,
Oh,
he was very
he
unhappy.
probably got a girlfriend even after that.
Maybe, but I don't know if he's going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So lots of people giving me shit about the licenses. GC willingly got scammed. Your former employee, SABC, is proud of you. Gareth, you are weak. It's your fault that they spew that rubbish on the television. It's all you. Gareth got scammed. Defund the SABC. Guys, what's going on? I mean, there's lots of this.
Hey.
I can help you, Gareth, says Mapelo, but only if I buy it online.
Ha! That sounds like a scam.
No, Mapelo won't scam me, but what he means is like I can use his license to buy.
No,
but why do you have a license? You paid yours. Then.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like at the
Here's
end of
problem.
the day.
So I'm upset because I handed over a fair amount of money, by the way.
Yeah.
I've not paid this thing in 15 years.
Yeah, it's a
minimum.
lot.
And it adds up. So I paid it. I don't feel good about that. You know when you pay a traffic fine, you feel good because you're like, okay, they're not going to stop me and arrest me. I don't feel good about this one at all. And the problem is now that I've paid,
you have to do it.
they're going to keep they're going to like, where's our next one? And
that's the issue. You just open a can of worms for yourself. But you know what? It's okay, Gareth, because you've gotten away with it once. I believe in you. You can do it again.
Bitcoin Bot says, Gareth, I need a TV, please.
Now you're the go-to guy, hey? Like
sell the TV and buy the dip. Smelling good, says Carl, is more important than looking good. There are fat people I can tolerate because they smell nice. Now, we played a promo in the break of our show, Let's Talk Man.
Yes.
With all the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking, Nomcebo, their producer, was looking for a very fat person to be on the show the other day. And so she asked me, and I said, I can't help you. I don't know any fat people. And I really don't. I don't know any. But she found one. God bless her. That is a resourceful woman. She found one. Take a look. We've got a picture of him. He was on the show this week. Take a look. Jesus.
I reserve all comments.
Aibo.
I shall not
Which furniture did you guys use?
Hey, don't worry, Gareth. Just know nothing broke. Nothing broke. And the show will come out next week, Monday, 6 o'clock on the Real Network.
Did we have to open the double doors? Be honest.
Gareth, don't ask any.
Who's that? Take a leg.
Maybe 2.0.
Take a leg, Bambizzo Petit.
I don't want to say anything more.
Anyway, that guy was on the show. You had to use 2 cameras for one shot.
You guys are making it worse, okay?
Well, that guy also ate my TV license. So now I feel even worse. Oh, my God. All right. So what do we got here? Bitcoin Bot says, was the lift working and is it broken now? Lee Ass won't be happy on Monday. By the way, we only have, we're on the 2nd floor.
Yes.
And I don't ever I've never used the lift.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Okay. If you're going up 2 or 3 floors, you can do the stairs. It's probably a good bit of cardio for someone like me who could lose a bit of weight.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't put that. You can't put that guy. He couldn't have gone up the stairs. He would have been out of breath. And he would have died of something at the top. But he is trying to lose weight.
He is. I don't want to say anything. He is trying to lose weight. So he probably did take the stairs because he needs the exercise. But listen to the show, guys. I'm sure it's amazing.
Mapello is also in the same position I'm in. Says, I recently bought a TV. That's why I have a TV license. Take a Lot wouldn't sell me a TV without a license. See, Mapello, you and I, we're in the same WhatsApp group now.
Guys, that's the biggest scam
but we've
ever.
been taken, hey. Because that is, you know, like when you pay taxes and you know you're not getting anything back. But
this one hurts.
At least some of my tax money or yours is going like to a social grant or you know, there's some single mom out there who's struggling with something, and maybe it just helps her a little bit. And not that government ever hand that money over to the people who need it the most.
Yes.
But I like to think that with the TV license, nothing good is going to come from that. You want to know
that's a scam you willingly walked into. You know, people talk about, yo, I got scammed,
I got
guys.
robbed at the ATM. That's what happened. I got robbed at the ATM. I don't know. It was a moment.
Someone's like, give me your money. And
it
you
was a
just
moment of
gave them.
such weakness. You know how I used to mock Leanne about how she paid her e-tolls?
Oh, yes. Yes. And you've been such a great citizen for all of us. Like, shout out to you, babes. Like, without you, I don't know if we'd be here, eh?
You would never fall for that shit.
I don't.
Yeah, you see, I needed you.
I don't have a TV
fact,
license. I've never paid e-tolls. Don't ask me about
you're
my
a good
tickets.
person.
You know, like
No, you're a good person. Because actually, you're an accomplice to a crime if you hand that money over to those.
Yeah,
people.
I refuse to be scammed. I refuse. Ladies and gentlemen, please know.
All right. Well, you said something nice. You did something nice for your domestic worker. Just look at it that way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Smelling good leaves a good impression on a person. Remember them for their scent. And if they smell really good, especially scents like strawberry and vanilla, the nicest and most tolerable, says Strayomati 19, who we've heard from already this morning. But that is a good point. You know, your sense of smell is probably the most complicated of the senses for us to replicate. We now have virtual reality. We have all kinds of other things that we can do for sound. Smell is complicated as hell because smell also influences taste.
Yes.
And for people who have an inability to smell, like a lot of people during COVID, for example, they lost their sense of smell. You can't taste anything either.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for people who do smell nice. I mean, that's why the fragrance industry is a multi-billion-dollar business, right?
Yes. But also, did you know, so I found this out, babies use smell to be able to tell who's their mom.
Yeah.
So so after giving birth, the mom does have a bit of like body odor. It's not that bad, but that's for the baby, so the baby can smell their mom.
It's exactly right. It's like an imprinting type thing,
yes.
Right? And I can still remember how, like, an ex from 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can still remember like what, and not because I knew what perfume she wore.
Yes.
But I can still remember like how it smelled on her. And it's often smells that bring back memories. Like if you smell a certain food, it brings back a memory. Like that really imprints because your nose is the only sense that is connected directly to the brain. The nerve, the olfactory nerve, is straight into the brain, into the center of the brain. It's pretty wild. And I listened to a podcast a while ago from this woman who's like she's a scent maker for brands. So, for example, if you go into any Western hotel in the world, WESTIN, the lobby always smells the same.
Yes.
She designed that, the smell for them. So there's a brand scent. Yeah. So if you're in marketing and advertising, you'll probably know more about this than I do. But Nike, for example, that new shoe smell, that is not an actual smell from the leather and the rubber and the various fabrics and plastics and shoelaces and whatever else they use in the shoes. They actually create a scent that they spray into the box. That's what that smell is.
So since we're talking about smell, fun fact, car manufacturers manufacture the sound of the car door. They've altered it because cars back in the day were much more heavier. They had that natural like heavy clunk. And then as they started making the cars from different material and it became lighter, so the clunk was much more, it wasn't there.
You want it to sound substantial.
Yes. So car manufacturers have now like altered your car door to still have that heavy clunk sound. And I went down a rabbit hole of like sounds now.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did. And there's a thing called pink noise now in cars where you'll only hear it when you're about to be in an accident. And it's a sound that plays, it's at 80 decibels. So that like the impact of the accident is very loud. So to protect your ears, it plays that sound.
Wow.
Yes. Because accidents are very loud. But it gets better. Wait, there's more.
Look at this.
I'm like being a whole nerd about this.
Go on.
So car sounds as well is something like, the British Library is now also like saving car sounds because because we have like electric cars now and they don't have a sound.
They don't.
Right? So now Jaguar is saying that like in 2025 they're going fully electric, so they're saving like various car sounds because one day we might not hear them. But also, Hans something
Zimmer.
Yes, him. He is also the guy who was appointed to compose the sound of e-mobility for BMW.
Because I suppose you also as a pedestrian, you need to hear the car.
Yes.
Most people aren't looking; they're looking at their phones, and that's
So
why
that's
we're
all
walking into stuff.
manufactured. Yes.
Yeah, but some of these cars are actually making fake sounds to play.
Yes.
So that they at least have a sound.
Yes, and he's the guy who's making it.
That's amazing.
And it gets better. Wait, there's more.
Shit! Look at this. We've gone down a rabbit hole.
You see the sound that the sound that you hear on your mouse, like when you click.
The click.
That's not a real sound. That's a speaker.
No.
that they put for the click. It's actually a speaker.
No way.
Serious, guys.
Really?
Like, I promise you, go Google this. I promise you this is true. In fact, going back to cars and the sound, there was a guy who is like he drives and tests cars. He was driving a Ford Mustang, and the speaker like blew out, and he thought that the engine went out because the engine sound is from the speaker. It's all manufactured, guys.
Wow.
But wait, there's more. Let me impress you. I've sent James this video of in 2010, Jaguar made a car that sounded like a Jaguar.
No, show me.
I really did go down the rabbit hole of sounds.
Wow. That's amazing.
So sound is very much
Holy
manufactured, and the sounds that you hear are not naturally like always there. It's manufactured. Fun fact.
I'm blown away. All right, you know what? If you're watching us on a TV, it was worth paying your TV license this morning. What can I say? Mapelo says one day they're going to implement a phone license. Only people with a phone license will be able to buy a new phone. We let our government get away with so much, which gives them so much power. You're right. They will find a way. Apparently.
I mean, they're trying to charge us for our laptops.
Yeah, apparently they're also trying to get a fine out of Google and Facebook and Instagram and all these things. You know why? Because they say, those guys, it's unfair. They are getting all the eyes, and they are the sites that people are going to. And actually, IOL and News 24 deserve some of those. So what, you're going to make it better by fining them, and then what? Taking the money as tax? I don't see how that helps any of them.
Government doesn't like working.
And they're shit, by the way. Those other local sites. Don't go to them. Is there a biological reason for a smelly crotch? Says Carl. I don't know. Smell is the closest sense to memory, says Sugar Shabalala. Neil says, remember how my ex's cuck smelled? Oh my God. Really? Thanks, Neil. That's lovely. Women smell so good.
Thank you.
Scientology is a great company. Scientology.
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say those are two different things.
But Scientology is also a very profitable company. Yeah. Simpiwe, you're looking so skinny, says Dr. Robin.
It's called breastfeeding.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Ananda says, I have a theory. Maybe picking a mate, we mask our true smell and we pick genetically the wrong partner. Well, there's something to be said about how all these artificial smells are actually preventing us from being able to use our sense of smell to detect things that before they would have been like genetic markers for us. So you would have been attracted to the smell of the person it would have been best for you to have children with.
And now you're attracted to the Gucci smell.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get people who are like, they're creating like kids and shit.
Got you.
Anyway, being well groomed and smelling good and taking care of your health is the highest form of self-respect. And statistically, you will get employed more and you will be respected more. That is what Lee says. We don't know whether that's true or not. That's just what she says. Yeah. And then one woman jumped a stop sign yesterday. I nearly crashed into her car. Fun fact, she was driving a Polo. Women driving a Polo, terrible combination. Very sexist, Mapelo, but thank you.
Okay. Since we're talking about cars now and Polo drivers, we have a new pandemic on our hands.
What?
Quid and Picanto drivers. I don't know who gave them the krach, but hey, those people think they're driving BMWs. They think they're driving
Picanto drivers.
Yes, they think they're driving a Porsche. They think they're there with the Ferrari. Yay, guys, they're driving 140, 120. Guys, relax. They are worse than Polo drivers. We have a new pandemic on our hands.
This is a big problem.
It is. They annoy me. They're busy pressing me on the road. And I'm like, relax. I'm trying to spare your life. Okay, your wheels might pop off. But no. They want to go. They're thinking that, hey, I have this car. Guys, your car's small and it's a pickaninny. Just drive at 100. It's not a German car. Just drive at 100, please. Because,
I don't know.
New pandemic we have. It's a new problem. Promise you.
Durban Dope says, this is an interesting point. Vaping is way more popular than cigarettes because of the smell.
Yes. I actually don't mind people vaping around me because of the smell.
I don't mind it either.
Yes. But too many people vape. So
doesn't a quid have a speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour?
Nowadays they're pushing it to like 100. That's why I'm worried for them. I'm like, your life, child, your life. Your car might just stop pushing, guys. Stop.
So Simpiwe is actually more concerned for you if you're driving one of these cars too fast.
Yes, and they're like on the road thinking that they're
competing with the big boys. It's not.
Your car's
what
small.
What is it? Biginini.
It's a biginini car. It's this big. My whole hand could probably pick it up. It's very, very small. Drive at 60, drive at 80, be safe on the road, and let the big boys drive. We have a new pandemic now. I don't know who gave them the krach.
I didn't know this was a problem, but now that you've explained it, okay. All right.
I've been praying for them so much this week. So please, guys, please take heed to this message because I don't want anything to happen to the Quid and Picanto drivers. Please, I don't.
No, you're lying, Sims. Not the click. That's a mechanical sound, says Barely Vocal.
No, but it's actually, guys, go research this. I promise you. The mouse sound. It's not.
Dave says he agrees with you. It's a cheap car. The nuts and bolts will undo themselves at that speed.
Guys, I am public safety roads, whatever, call me that. I am doing you guys a service for saying drive slow. That's what that car was meant for. People that want to drive at 80.
Durban Dope says, in Durban, we call them Phoenix Ferraris. All right, so there we go. We are solving problems this morning. Despite my embarrassing paying of my TV license, it's led to a whole conversation about smells and sounds, and now the kinds of cars you should look out for who think they're the big boys on the road, but they're really not. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of public service for one morning.
I know, right?
I almost feel like we should stop, but we've got a great guest to talk to this morning, and there's exciting stuff here. If you think you're good looking, all right, and most people have this idea because of Instagram now. They're I'm a model. Like, no, but you're not really. Okay, so here's the story. Johan Ungera is the event planner and luxury brand expert. He can tell you about luxury brands as well. He's this is his thing. But this guy is okay. So I'll tell you the whole story.
Okay.
2 years ago,
a
friend of mine was invited to the show that he put on in Pretoria called Opulent Models. Okay, so I was like, I think these
good.
I think these. There we go. I think the model shows are stupid because I went to one or two of them long ago and I was like, this is boring. This thing was mega, Simpiwe. Literally 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in that Sunbed Arena in Pretoria.
Sure.
Models moving like there was not time for you to be bored because they walk past you like this on the stage and people are cheering and it's like it's an event. It's a proper thing. So I was like, wow, I'm impressed with this thing. So I went up to him afterwards and I said, listen, we've never really met before. I'm so impressed with this show. And the next year it was even bigger and even better. And if there's anyone who knows what they're doing in this business, it's this guy. He's sitting right next to you. So he knows what he's talking about. So Johan, welcome to the studio. Finally, we've been trying to organize this for a while. And it's great to have you here. And congrats on this amazing show that you're doing. And you're busy getting ready for the next one, which will be in August.
Yeah.
But he's already doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's scouting for models. So if you think you look like something, yeah, let's start with that. Like, where are you going to be this weekend looking for models?
So, Gareth, well, first of all, guys, thank you for having me.
Simpiwe is more excited because she said you smell great.
Yes.
She's interested in the modeling show.
Talking about the scent, giving off that whole.
That's right.
You have to smell good.
All right, so tell us first, because everybody in this country thinks they're a model. Well, everyone in the world does now, thanks to social media. And they're not. Okay, but where are you scouting? So where were you going to find these talented people?
So basically, our last scouting is this evening in Melville and Ilovo. So it's our last scouting this evening.
Oh, Melville.
Are you sure about Melville, boy? It's a bit dangerous.
Ilovo, you might have some luck. Okay, so what are you doing? Are you going to be walking around there looking and checking who's good looking,
who's got talent,
adding them to the list?
We're trying to find these hidden gems.
You're not looking for people who are already
100%. Yeah, we really want to find those people that, we can work with, we can groom them, we can mold them into the next best thing.
So if you find me on the corner of Melville, will you take me?
If you smell good.
Okay.
So Sims, I mean, this is an important part of what they do, because he's not just going to have a crowning ceremony and then you disappear and no one ever hears from you again. You're actually going to send people to London. You're going to get them international. You're going to create opportunities for them, and at the same time, create opportunities for brands to work with the people who do this. Undiscovered talent.
That's correct, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So how did it all start?
Well, 10 years ago. Yeah.
10 years.
10 years ago, 2 models, boardroom. And today we're literally sitting with, last year, a few months ago, we had 5,500 people, Times Square Sunbed Arena, 200 models, 9 categories. So, you know what? It's by the grace of God that this thing's growing and growing and growing, but it's about paying it forward in this industry and creating opportunity for aspiring and professional models. So, yeah.
And you have different categories here as well. So it's not just your runway models, your photographic models. You've also got categories for people who have transformed themselves. You've got people who do a little bit of like the fitness look.
Body of the year, fitness physique.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all very, very exciting. You even have a category for people who've never tried this before, and maybe they're not 18 years old anymore, but older, and they want to give it a go.
Exactly.
Because there's a demand for models of all kinds.
No, definitely. And I mean, if we look at our age gaps, it's between 16 up to 55. And I mean, we've got a lot of professional people that actually enter for the show as well, where, I mean, we've got advocates, we've got doctors. I mean, Bianca, our current winner for fitness physique, I mean, she's a doctor. And I'm like, it just shows you, if your passion is modeling and you really want to pursue this, then go for it. I mean, if not, why not?
And what kind of things do you think the market wants when it comes to models? Because it's always been that these agencies that they control, they send people to castings. I mean, in some ways, it's kind of a little antiquated. Or is that still the way it works? So if you're a brand and you need a person to appear in an ad, for example, whether it's a still photograph or whether it's video or whether it's on, activations or whatever it might be, how does that work? Because you have made this show of yours the number one place for people to also seek commercial opportunities as models.
So, Gareth, I think it's very difficult with regard to this industry because every person thinks they're a model, and there's a lot of agencies, talent agencies, modeling agencies, and I think, we want to create a one-stop shop for all models and aspiring models, where, if brands want to link with them, give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, for us, it's about the model. They need to be able to earn an income, make a living out of this. I mean, it doesn't help that you're pretty, but you know what? You can't pay your bills.
Right.
So for us, it's about paying it forward. Yes, you're good looking. Yes, you're on billboards. Yes, you're doing campaigns, magazines, TV, radio, whatever it might be. But you still need to make a living as an artist as such and as a model. And you know what? It doesn't help that you see yourself on a billboard on a highway and it's like, okay, oh, that's me, but you got R5.
Now, what about training people to be better models? How does that work? Because what do you need to know? I always think like actors, and I had an actor in here on Wednesday who's, he's done really well. He's been in a couple of Hollywood movies and all the rest of it. And I always joke that they're just pretending. And if you can pretend well, you're an actor. But what sort of things does a model need? Do they just have to look good? Is that enough?
No.
What else do you need to do?
Don't be a diva.
Oh, really?
Don't be a diva.
Ooh,
don't
so
be
people,
full of
that
yourself.
counts you out.
At least you smell good, honey.
Okay, so what do you mean? Don't be a diva. What else?
No, but nobody wants to work with high maintenance people. I think it's
I mean, that's true for any industry.
100%. And I think it gets to a point where, you know what, just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what, no one can take that away from you. And just go in there, be yourself, and don't think you are the don't think you're the shit. Let me call it what
you
it
can
is.
say it, yeah.
You know what? Don't think you're the shit, because the thing is, behind you there's 100 better looking people than you. So respect it, appreciate it, and take it. Take that opportunity. You know what? Within this industry, not a lot of people get opportunities, unfortunately.
Who are your current winners? Tell us who they are and what they've done.
So we obviously have Ruan. He won Top Model Worldwide London a few months ago. Rita Bile, I mean, this girl, she is honestly the next Naomi Campbell. I mean, she's 17. She's extremely tall. I mean, she placed first place in Top Model Worldwide London as well.
Wow.
We've obviously got several other categories, fitness. We've got our men's open category. We've got our Mr. Mrs. So we've got various different categories, but it's also about creating that inclusiveness within this industry, which is important.
What are you looking for when you scout like a tomorrow night's event or Saturday or when? I mean, this is the last.
Tonight's the last one. Yeah.
Tonight's the last one. It's not even Saturday. So just tonight.
Only tonight.
And if someone goes to the venues that will tell you where they are later on, because people, sometimes it's the mom who's like, "Oh, you're such a beautiful girl. Maybe you should go to this thing," but actually she's the mom, so she thinks her daughter's pretty, but her daughter's a fucking troll. Sometimes it's some guy who he's got 10 likes on his picture and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and be a model." What are you looking for?
Uniqueness.
No, but
being unique and
like some special ingredient.
I would definitely say, if I look at Rita Bile, for example, I mean, we actually scouted her school last week, Friday.
Guys, look up Rita Bile, opulent model, and you'll find a picture of her so we can see who we're talking about.
We scouted at her school. And I mean, I spoke to one of her educators and she said, so many people passed her by and she entered for competitions and agencies. And I'm like, but why? And you know what? It's those hidden gems that we want to find. Because it's like, how many agencies did not see that talent? I mean, she's almost 2 meters tall. I mean, when she walks, she commands a ramp. And I think that's the importance that we need to find these incredible gems that's out there that don't have the self-confidence. They look at the magnitude of the show and, you need to walk in front of 5,500 people, but it's more than that. That's why we do give mentorship, training, coaching to make them comfortable, because when you're in an arena, it's daunting.
Well, Homotsa says, of course, my daughter's beautiful. Well, you see, this is the problem with you moms.
Very biased.
You're going to be very biased.
Very biased.
And then somebody says here, shame, Gareth, troll children have dreams too. But
be an accountant. It's okay.
Yeah, we need them to be accountants. Yeah, absolutely. Also have to have good cheekbones, probably a good sunglasses model, says Dave. That's if you have high cheekbones. You can grow thick skin by making money while everyone else hates on you, rolls up the window and drives away. That's the kind of thing people are looking at here. are you worried that we're running out of good-looking people? Because sometimes when I'm in the car and I look around me in traffic, I think, oh, Jesus. You know, Simpiwe is worried about the quids and the picantos, but I'm worried about how, you see, when you're inside my head looking out at the world, you have very high, impossibly high standards. You think everyone's got to be beautiful. Obviously, they look at me and they go, oh. But from my point of view, and I only know my point of view, I don't know anyone else's, you're an expert in this. Are we a very beautiful country, or are we a very ugly country, or are we somewhere in between?
We got beautiful people in this country.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. And I mean, even if, like I say to the guys as well, that each and every year they go through this whole process with the next Opulent model. And it's a thing where people might not think that they're good looking, but take them through the whole process.
Right.
Train them, mentorship, coaching.
Someone who's raised in, without love. They've never been for a haircut. They've never had a proper outfit put on them. Suddenly you transform the caterpillar into a butterfly. Yeah. You could actually see that happen. All right. And this show, I mean, one of the reasons that I was keen to get Johan in here is not just so that if you have a kid who wants to be a model, you can take them to this model scouting event. Also because this show that you put on is next level. I mean, you've got big sponsors involved, Mercedes-Benz and Sun International and, all kinds of really big sponsors. So the model doesn't, this is not some Mevrou Klerksdorp competition.
I'm just going to say, be careful what you say there.
Okay, no, because you don't run Mevrou Klerksdorp, do you?
I said, no, I don't.
But
is there one?
She gets a sash and a plastic crown from the China Mall, and that's it. That's what she gets, right? And that's the end of her modeling career. Yeah. With your show, they first of all, just the show itself, the people who are there, it's like thousands of people.
Yeah,
and then you've got all the online stuff, which is huge. So, what happens for these models when they win?
So obviously last year, if each and every year it differs. So last year, if we have a look at, we had 17, and our current winners, we've got 17 winners. They each walked away with 75,000 rands worth of prizes, gifts, ambassadorships. And for me, it's a thing where if you've got one winner, it's easy. It's very easy to focus on one person. I mean, anybody can do that. I mean, I'll do that with my eyes closed. But if you've got 17 individuals, 17 different personalities that you need to manage for a year long. And you know what? It's a great feeling because you know that as much as they give to the brand needs to give to them because it's a two-way street. And it's about, creating these opportunities for them. I mean, we, for example, with a few of our winners, we did an incredible campaign and shoot with Times Square, Sunbed Arena. And we're waiting for that campaign to come out. And I mean, for a non-professional model to walk away with a win on our ramp and to do a campaign with a Sun International venue.
That's big.
I mean, it's a big deal.
I mean, these are the Miss South African people, right? Yeah. Kelvin Peterson says, hey, Johan, thank you for your great input in the industry. I think it's important that we also realize that for many of these people, it does build their confidence.
100%.
So you could be a little fading flower. You've been told by everybody that you are plain or that you're not that beautiful. And then you get into the right situation and you have wardrobe and makeup and you have someone teaching you how to walk and put your shoulders back and all of this stuff. And suddenly some girl or guy who's been kind of forgettable becomes, wow.
And it does happen. I mean, we see it each and every year with regards to our full rehearsal day. I mean, it's like from 5 a.m. in the morning until midnight where we rehearse. Oh. But it's also a thing where you can see the models are extremely stressed. And you know what? They freaked out of the magnitude of obviously the show. Because, I mean, when you're in that arena and you look and
Well, this is an arena that they have major concerts in.
I mean, Tyler performed there.
Yeah.
The other
Robbie
day,
Williams just did.
She was there, yeah.
For heaven's sake. So this is not some small thing. Okay, I like that. This bra can cut my hair any day, says Charles, but you're not a hairdresser. No.
I'm fine, thank you.
A lot of people saying your eyebrows are the vibe. They love
Well,
it.
I can help you there.
Roxanne says, I used to judge school modeling competitions. It really builds up young girls' confidence too. Lee says, we've got some ugly fuckers around. See, I'm with Lee here. Maybe it's
This
just...
is why you're not the judge for this,
well,
okay?
I mean, well, I paid my TV license.
Well.
I paid my TV license, all right. So don't you give me trouble. You're an illegal TV user.
Oh, don't you judge me,
I'm
Mr.
I'm judging you.
Mr. I paid
And
my
I am.
TV license.
So actually, Johan did ask me to judge.
Oh.
How's that? And I judged alongside Harry Nell from the formerly of the NPA, and who's now with AfriForum. They prosecute all those. A brigadier from the police.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you looking for, Gareth, when you were judging?
No, it was so quick. I can tell you this. Like you literally, all I'm doing is making sure that I don't leave anyone out. And then it's simple. He doesn't make it complicated for you. You have to just give a number from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have time to think. You don't have time to evaluate. You're just like 1 to 10. Okay, no, she's a 5 or a 6, or he's a 3, or he's a whatever. You literally do that. But I mean, there are a bunch of judges. There were how many?
There were 9.
Sophie
and
Daba was there as
Oh,
well.
yes.
Yeah? Zari, the boss lady, was there.
There we go.
Oh,
Yes.
you're international like that.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So I was the least famous judge.
Yes.
But yeah,
We put
I mean,
Gareth in the corner there.
and I honestly thought this is going to be the lamest thing when I went 2 years ago, and I was blown away. And I love the fact that people like you are creating something out of where there's nothing before. There wasn't ever an event of this magnitude for people who want to do this. You create something for all their friends and family to come and support them at. I mean, it's a very, very cool thing to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, well done. I might be biased, says Carl, but when I went to the Portuguese consulate last week, there were 4 unbelievably attractive women. I was so relieved that hot women still exist here.
You should have taken their number.
Just
We
4,
could
he says,
scout
in
them.
that tiny space. Would AI have any impact on the modeling industry, says Shaq's Life? Have you thought about that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But what about when we get AI models and they replace humans? Because they're going to cost nothing. They won't whine. They won't be a diva.
That's also true.
You know,
though.
it's going to happen. Komotsa says her whole family is beautiful. You could pay my TV license and I'll send you a picture.
That sounds like a bribe.
Okay. Is there a market for slightly thinning, hairy men, or should I stick to OnlyFans? Says Barely Vocal Media.
Question, right? Because in the office, Michaela is starting an OnlyFeeds account.
Yeah, isn't she meant to be on the show this morning to tell us about that? Oh,
so like, what are your thoughts on like, you know, people now doing only feet and hand models?
The only pages.
Yes.
I suppose live and let live. It's each to their own.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's, you know what, everybody's so judgmental, you know, with regard to certain aspects and this and that. And I'm like, you know what, if you want to do it, do it. If it doesn't hurt anybody, if it doesn't harm anybody, you know.
Okay, Andile's got a really good question. How do you know if you're ugly?
Look in the mirror.
Oh. Oh, how would you know? Honestly, I trust Gareth's judgment, says Lee. Oh, be careful. Harry's a lawyer. Harry's a lawyer, not a judge. Yes, okay, that's correct. Harry Nell. Get Johan to rate James and Flex. Okay,
okay.
James, come out here.
Let's go.
Now you're going to judge. Now you're going to judge.
Oh, hell.
James, come out here.
And you must tell us what you're looking for. I mean, afterwards, what, you know.
Okay, there's James.
Model number 1.
Rate
Give us
James
the side profile.
Rate James out of
the other side.
Out of 10. You know, you've already been on the stage too long.
All right, thank you.
Your show, he's gone by now.
Yeah, he's gone by now.
Okay, bye.
Go, thank you. Flex, it's your turn.
Next, come on.
Karen, are you going to give us a rating for him and for
You
Flex?
need to give us a right and left profile. Thank you so much.
Okay, Flex,
come in.
All
You
right.
need to be faster.
Okay.
Other side.
All right, Johan, what do we got? Out of 10 for James, what do we got?
6.
6. That's not bad. That's better than average.
Okay.
Okay, good.
And then Flex.
Flex.
6.
Oh, that seems like a safe thing that you're doing there. See, it's hard to be a judge.
So what were you looking for over there? Why did you give them a 6?
So Dave says
The lights
James,
are very bright here, so like
you stop making excuses. James could do modeling for Incredible Connections.
Can we get them as a sponsor?
Wow. Okay. This is why Simps and Gareth look like models this morning. Do we? Oh, wow. Thanks, Roxanne. That's very nice of you, and complete lies. But maybe you, not me. Okay, so what should people, even ugly ones, even hunchbacks and people with club feet and people who, they smell bad or whatever.
Honey,
No, you got to help us. You got to help us here. Johan, how can everybody make themselves a little more beautiful? I said just now, the way you teach people to walk, the way you teach people to take pictures, for example. I mean, that could be, you give us some tips so that all of us, all the great unwashed who will never make it into your shows, help all of us to also look a little bit better. Go on.
I think, beauty.
He's really, I'm asking him the hardest.
He's trying to be politically correct.
I am, honestly.
He's
And I'm like, listen,
I don't want to tell you the truth.
No,
Because
go
if I
on.
tell
There
you
is
the
a way
truth,
for all of us to look better.
I must say, I think with regard to our show, we're very, very honest.
Yeah.
We are that, we'll never scout people that we can't groom and obviously change into
A better version of
themselves. See, thank you, Gareth.
Should you put your chin down or up in photographs?
Oh, no, up. Nobody wants to see these.
And is a bit of side profile important? Not like straight up, straight on like that.
Is there something such as a good side? People always
most
say-
definitely.
Oh, really?
100%.
What's Simpiwa's good side? Is it her left or her right? Just because this is your territory. You know what
You're gonna like.
She's got the. What do you think?
Yeah, just like that. Honey.
Okay.
The right.
Yeah.
You prefer the right. So which one's my good side? The left or the right?
Both sides.
No, bullshit. What a lot of shit. No, seriously, come on. Help me out here.
Let's do it.
Sims?
The other side.
I think the other side.
What, the back of the fucking head?
Oh,
Is that what you're
amazing.
saying?
Stay like that the whole show.
All right, great. Nice of you. All right.
I think, Gareth, it's also, if we have a look at, how many people have aspirations?
Too many of them. Too many.
To be a model, I think you never want to break down people's dreams and their hopes and aspirations. And, but also you need to be fair. You need to be honest enough. But you don't want to set people up for failure and say, oh, you know what, come and walk on the show. It's fine. Hence why we've got a huge panel that will be doing the selections next week. And, they are very crucial and critical with regards to who will be allowed on that ramp. And obviously in front of thousands of people, because I think is the last thing that you want to know is put people through and knowingly, that they will not stand a chance. Because, what? It's not about just numbers. It's literally about finding the next opulent model South Africa.
Okay, so on that note, where are you going to be in Johannesburg tonight so that people can come and meet you and they can talk to you about all this stuff and they can do their little turn on the catwalk and show you whether or not they have any talent?
So we'll be at Democracy Bar this evening.
Okay, that's in Melville.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we will be at Karaoke Kong, which is in Melville.
Oh,
same owners, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, there we
get
go.
a lot of drunk people. I've been there before.
I've never been there.
The karaoke.
You didn't go on the model scouting night, though. We wouldn't have you here anymore, would we? All right, very good.
Yeah.
I love this. Thank you very much for coming to see us this morning. And Sims, thank you for giving us all those amazing tips about sounds that we didn't know.
All manufactured.
Right. And just tidy yourselves up, everybody. Really, don't be an embarrassment. Marco wants to know, what about people with wheelchairs? Well,
sorry for you.
There are limited opportunities, but there are.
And the thing is, there's always the
like
editorial
houses with a double
aspect.
story. Not all of them are for you. Marco's got a good sense of humor. He knows, but there are. There are disabled models. There
100%,
are. There are models of all sizes and shapes. There are models who are extremely fat.
I think there's an opportunity for everyone out there. If you've got it,
yeah, and
and
mostly, and I've always said this. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I certainly have never been disappointed. Confidence is the sexiest thing in the world.
Most definitely.
Right? Not confidence where
Not
it becomes
cocky.
arrogance,
Yeah.
but confidence. Like if somebody really is comfortable in their skin, to me, I think that is probably the most attractive thing of all. And if you can find that, then good luck to you.
Gareth, if I'm allowed to also say,
Go
I mean,
on.
if any brands, obviously, it's extremely important for us to, as you know, the competition's big. It's huge, and we also just want to link up with the correct brands. Hence why, yes, name dropping that we're very, very proud. For example, like MSC Cruises, they part of us now.
Oh wow!
Everybody
cool.
wants to go on a cruise.
Yeah, people like that.
And I mean, like King Price, they part of us now.
King Price Insurance, know about
and
them too. They're also in Pretoria, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we just want to really open opportunities from the smallest businesses to the biggest businesses, because I think everybody thinks Times Square St. Arena, it's so big, it's so lush, it's next level, because it is. We're very grateful for their venue, but we want to have the smallest businesses to also be able to be part of this.
Okay. And how can they get hold of you? Social media is the best?
Yeah, social media, yeah.
All right.
It's about paying it forward, guys.
Yeah, sure.
And smelling good.
Yes.
Smell
I'm
good.
never going to forget that.
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
nice. See, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
All right, very good. That's all we got time for, though, this morning. And if you want to find out more, we'll put all the links in the description of the podcast. And by the way, talking about podcasts, if you haven't already and you have the temerity to watch this show and listen to our show wherever you get it, but you haven't subscribed yet, well, that is worse than having a TV and not paying your license. And let me tell you, now that I've paid mine, I am a smug TV license payer, and I look down on you illegal sons of bitches who don't pay your TV license, all right? So the least you can do is subscribe to this fucking show. That's all.
Oh.
To be back, yes I have let loose from the noose that had me hanging about. I keep looking at the sky, cause it's getting me high. Forget the hurts, cause I never